My name's Andrew Bott, and this is MeetFounders.
I was doing a bit of research about you, and actually, I found very interesting that you did your BS in industrial and organizational psychology.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting background. So, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. Industrial organizational psychology is actually like business psychology. I researched some of the top entrepreneurs that I respected and kind of tried to find what are some commonalities, like what are some common threads. And I found that a lot of the folks who were running companies that I really respected or had accomplished the things that I really respected had a degree in organizational psychology. I am really grateful for that background. It's a solid understanding in both like how people think, because it's a psychology degree, but also how the workplace, operates and, in terms of teams and management. I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
What would you say are the personality, I don't know, traits that someone who wants to become an entrepreneur should have?
Yeah, I'm not somebody who thinks like you have to be a certain way. The biggest thing that I've noticed with founders is they want to create something. It's kind of it's our art. It's the thing. It's our creativity. Certainly, a common trait would be to enjoy doing new things, to enjoy challenging the status quo. I think it's more fun, if you are kind of fighting for a business to survive, to have a reason for it. Not every founder has to be the type A founder where they go in and they know how to sell and they know how to create. And like Elon Musk, like he can design a rocket ship and design PayPal. Like that's crazy. Like but you don't have to be like that to be a successful founder. I think what you do have to be is introspective and to know what you're good at and know what you're not good at. So then you can add to your team and say, well, I'm crap at this. I need to build my team to be that CTO or to be that salesperson or to be that storyteller because I'm bad at that, but I'm great at these other things.
Maybe you can go a little bit deeper on what you guys do. I know that you mentioned something about that. Can you explain?
Yeah, so MeetFounders does conferences, events, videos, workshops, and soon an accelerator to help startups learn from serious investors and help both investors and the startups build real relationships. So MeetFounders has existed for just under a year. Mid-June will be our 1-year anniversary. And we started off doing virtual conferences in lockdown. The first event, I was like in my kitchen. I don't tell many people this, but like, so for the first event, I was kind of just looking for a job in venture capital. And I was like, how can I get a bunch of VCs in a room? I'll do an event. I love doing events. I do events anyway. And I was like, well, I can't just do a free event because then we'll just have any random person from the internet come in and it'll be horrible. So I'll charge for the event and, I'll have some like pitches, some startups who are currently fundraising and try to help them. And the event did really well. We had 150 attendees. Wow. We made over £2,000. I paid my rent and more. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, maybe I don't need to get a job in VC immediately. Maybe I'll do another event, do another conference. And it's kind of grown from there. From that, now we're doing 2 conferences every month with 100 plus paid attendees and 30 experienced venture capitalists as panelists at each event. We have 15 to 20 startups pitching at each one. We have startups who've raised millions from the relationships they've built.
If you had to give a practical advice to someone who is starting, What steps would you say are the baby steps that someone should follow to start to build in a company and actually hold themselves accountable, or if they are actually doing the job or they are not doing enough?
Sure. For someone just starting, I think the advice I would give is to deeply understand your customer. Just like we were saying for the last question, I think don't wait for like an idea to strike you for a solution. Go and have great conversations, deep conversations with the customer that you think desperately needs something. Work hard to figure out the right questions to ask. I think the book The Mom Test is the best example of that. And it's such a short, teeny little book. But the most important thing in it is to not lead the witness, right? To not like say, I have this great thing. What do you think? Because that's not telling you anything. Ask questions where you figure out their deep problems, what they're currently doing to solve it, and what they really wish they had. And if you talk to enough customers and ask those right questions, the answer will come to you just from that, like just from the data. That's all you need to do, like ask the right questions. So I think for any young entrepreneur starting, start by learning how to ask questions, and how to ask them in the right way, and then go out and talk to the customers who you think you would like to serve.
This is something that happens a lot, and sometimes I think people get caught up with famous examples of entrepreneurs, and they think, okay, this is how an entrepreneur is. And
Yeah.
actually, as you say, there are a lot of types of entrepreneurs. I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with a famous musician, and they were saying, I'm just so tired of people asking me what guitar I use and what time I get up in the morning and how much I practice. Like, none of that matters. That has nothing to do with my success. Like, it does not matter what my schedule is, or like what I'm eating for breakfast, or like what book I read about music. It just has nothing to do with me being a famous musician. I love the process. I work hard. I love creating things, and I've done it for a long time. Like, that's why I'm here. That's where I am now. So if this is what you love, do it, work at it, improve. And there's lots of different right ways. I think there's infinite number of right ways to create a company or be part of a team, or to be a famous musician, or to be a great rapper, or to like for all those things. I think the formula is being honest with yourself, knowing and learning more about your limitations each day, and then surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. That's like my secret to success is with everything we do, I'm inviting people who are way more experienced than me. I'm inviting people who are way, way more successful than me. That's always my secret formula. Don't tell anyone.
How would you say that is the best way to approach an investor?
They like being approached. They like being contacted. They're not particularly hard to reach out to. I think the best way to approach an investor would be contact them, mentioning an investment that made you notice them, and then they'll go, okay, someone who actually like knows what we're doing. Cool. Then saying in the email, hey, I saw you invested in blank company a few months ago. We're at a similar stage. Would love to have a quick conversation, and talk about our company.
Andrew, thank you very much.
That was awesome.